One of the biggest questions I get is, how do you make a plan in chess? Some position like this, let's say. Well, why don't we just do it right now? My tip for you, the main tip, is ask yourself how you can improve your pieces. That is a key question that many grandmasters and masters ask. What are the best spots for my pieces? And not just one. Try to figure out a setup for all of your pieces. And do the same for your opponent as well. So here, it's White's turn. Black just played knight d7. He's trying to pin us and put his knight to some active squares themselves. So White decides to do it first. He plays knight f5, a great move, putting the knight on an active spot in the opponent's territory. Already we're threatening checkmate. Black defends with bishop f6. And now, where do you move your queen? Well, let's look for an active spot. Queen g3. Here's my criteria to know if a piece is active or not. They have to be very mobile. This knight can move a lot of squares. They have to have an attacking role. It's definitely attacking. And they have to be pretty safe and stable. So here the knight's stable, the queen's stable as well. So these two pieces, we got it covered. Black plays knight e5 here to protect this pawn. And now, what's the next piece? Always ask yourself, how can I improve my pieces? The worst piece for White in this position is the rook and the bishop. But clearly we had to improve the bishop first. So where do we go? Bishop f4. Pressuring the knight and working together with the rest of the pieces. So you might be asking me, wait a second, coach, why didn't you say bishop h6? That's a great move, right? True, it's very active and attacking here, but it's not safe. Black can play knight g6, and suddenly this bishop has to run back. So remember the criteria. It has to be very stable as well as attacking and mobile. White should rather play bishop f4 in this position. Now, Black plays queen c7, and now again, ask yourself, what is my least active piece? How can I improve it? Well, the answer is the rook. The rooks belong on open files. Rook d1. Nice and safe rook in an active role. Black plays this. This rook is passive compared to this rook because it's defending. Now, when you have active pieces, something magical happens. You start to get really, really nice tactics. So active piece, you make your pieces happy, your pieces will make you happy back. So Capablanca here decided to sacrifice the rook by doing this move. So the idea of this move is to pull the defender from the knight. So after rook d6, bishop takes e5, it's a pin. So you sacrifice one rook to get a pawn and a knight back. But if the bishop takes the bishop, we have a pin and a checkmate threat. And again, active pieces, they pay you back. So after something like f6, White is winning. In this position, Capablanca's opponent actually found a pretty decent defense, although there was a one even better defense. He played rook d1 here, giving up the whole rook to get the bishop back. We'll come back to this. The best defense for Black actually was to play queen a5. Capablanca was playing a simul, which means he's playing a bunch of people in this tournament at the same time. I think he just didn't see it. He would have seen it in a tournament game. Now, White's in trouble. He has to go back bishop here. And after takes, I guess White's still okay here because rook g6, and then I have a fork. So this would have been like just equal position. So personally, if I were White in this position, I wouldn't sacrifice yet. So what do you do now, you might ask? Well, there are still ways for us to improve our position little by little. I call it like housekeeping. In this position, a really good housekeeping move would be b3 to play c4 to get some space. Another good housekeeping move is something like h4. This is a bit more aggressive one. It gives the king a back rank escape, and also the pawn can be used as an attacking unit. So you not only have to, you're trying to improve your piece, you're trying to improve your position with every move, but it would count if you also damage your opponent's position. So with every move, you're trying to make your position better, but it would also count if you're making your opponent's position a little bit worse. So h4, h5 would be a net gain for us, because even though we're weakening our king a little bit, we might be weakening their king a lot more. And if you have the active position, usually they can't really attack our king that easily. So anyway, after this rook sacrifice, this happens. And here, we still have a bunch of active pieces left. And Black has some problems, mainly the back rank. And we already attacking their bishop one time. So there's a back rank problem. There's a semi-defended piece. And the presence of checks. These are signs that there is a tactic here. Can you find it? Okay, the first move is knight h6, check. Black has to go here, and it looks like white might have put himself in a double attack, but we have a plan. The back rank is now even more vulnerable than before, and I really want to go rook d8, but the queen and the other rook is guarding it. We have a double deflection. Queen takes e5, sacrificing the queen. He takes, and now the last person to guard the square is the rook, but we have knight f7. What an amazing move, right? Amazing sacrifice. Here, black happily resigned. He was really happy to lose like this to a world champion. After rook f7, this is checkmate. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this game and learned a lot. I'll see you in the next video.